In this episode of The Grind, we're going to talk about smaller, straight-tail jigs for summertime trout. Stay tuned. All right, it's summertime. Water temps are up. The trout are getting maybe a little bit more lethargic, especially kind of midday. And so downsizing your soft plastic profile to these small straight-tail jigs are perfect for this summertime application, especially kind of trying to dial in a bite or keep a bite going. And these small soft plastic profiles, Lil Jon's, and then this is the Capt Lanes Ghostminnow. These are two excellent ways to continue to catch trout throughout the summertime. So we're going to talk a little bit about each of these plastics and some of the nuances that I use when throwing them. Stay tuned. All right, so I absolutely love downsizing in the summertime, specifically to kind of match the hatch that's in the actual estuary itself. And so a lot of those fish have spawned, they've hatched, and so a lot of what you find in the actual fishery is smaller in profile. So going down in size isn't necessarily a bad thing because you can still dial up a big bite while maintaining and catching a lot of fish on a particular spot or a flat or a drop off or whatever it is. But this is the MirrOlure Lil Jon, obviously legendary bait here. And I do like pairing this with an 1/8 ounce or the 3/16 ounce eye strike fishing jig head. Both of these are actually really, really good. If I want to go smaller and I want to really, really slow my presentation, I'll go to the 1/16 ounce Texas Custom Lures screw lock jig head, which also obviously increases your bait longevity as well. But with these eye strike fishings, what I do with these is I'll take the jig head and these two little barb keepers on the actual shank of the hook itself. What I'll do is they're a little sharp, right? And so they're obviously designed for the Elastec for the Z-Man products. What I'll do is I'll just take a simple pair of pliers and I'll bend those in just a little bit to kind of cut down a little bit on that sharpness in the actual bait itself. Then what I'll do is I'll take these, and I'll have a lot of these kind of pre-made, if you will. I'll take it, and I follow the seam right there. You can see kind of where that seam is on the Lil Jon, and I'll just follow that seam, right, all the way down, and I'll come out, I'll push that on there pretty solid. And then that's pretty much it. Super simple setup, super, super subtle profile, and you can work this really, really slow. And it's really good. If it's got a little bend like it does, I just go ahead and tear that a little bit and kind of straighten it out, if you will. Now for this Lanes Ghostminnow, man, I absolutely love these as an alternative to the Lil Jon. Obviously, they have a lot of really good colors. Lane Zimmer out of Louisiana, he makes a really fantastic product. These are insanely durable, baits. And so I rigged this one upside down, and it's kind of funny because Lane saw this and he actually poured me some where he inverted the mold. And so now I normally went through the belly to make sure that bait tracks straight coming through the water column. But instead, what he did is he actually made, it was driving him crazy. His OCD was going nuts. What he did is he actually put the darker on the belly of the bait, and now I just go through it. Now I absolutely love throwing these on lighter jig heads because what it allows me to do is really, really slow my presentation and really power finesse an area. Again, and giving that soft, subtle, small profile for those baits. And so what I'll do, come on here, almost to where that kind of J-bend starts, and I'll just simply screw that bait back on there. Now, this bait will last, almost lost my camera there. This bait will last forever, man. You can catch an absolute ton of fish on this bait. So I'll get it about right there, just tear it. And then now you got a straight profile and you're good to go. That thing is gonna catch a gazillion fish, man. I mean, this thing is insanely durable. And the best part about it is it gives just an insanely small, very similar profile to that of a Lil Jon. And so I love these baits, and he makes a lot of different colors. So if you're looking for an alternative to kind of keep that bait profile small without the actual boot tail, so a straight tail, almost like a jerk shad, if you will, I definitely advise these Lanes Ghostminnows. They're really, really good. Now, Another thing that I've really been catching a lot of fish on, especially if I find a behavior or the wind has picked up a little bit and now I want to give a little bit more vibration, I want to give a little bit more presence in the actual column itself, what I will do is I'll throw the small DSL, the small down south lure. I want to say it's the Southern Salt or the Southern Shad series, excuse me. And I'll almost always pair these with the Texas Custom Lures Jigheads. And these are, again, also really, really fantastic. And these have been catching a lot of fish in the summer, especially this pink color. I'm fishing a lot of air clear water. And so pink and shades of pink have been working extraordinarily well because I've seen a lot of shrimp kind of where I've been fishing. So my tip to you is, again, maybe get some eye strike fishing jig heads. Again, crimp those barbs, especially if you want to go with a little bit heavier jig head, because I do fish the 3/16. If I am going a little bit heavier, that's about as heavy as I'll go, is that actual 3/16. I'll cut down on that barb a little bit. I'll pair it with a really good soft plastic. And if I want to lighten it up, I'll certainly go to the 1/16 ounce or the 1/8 in these Lanes Ghostminnows if I want to just maybe change a little bit of profile, if I want to give the fish just a little bit something different. So again, downsizing in the summertime, matching the hatch with what's in the actual fishery, especially with a lot of spawns, a lot of really small bait profiles out there. Definitely consider the Lanes Ghostminnow. Certainly always the MirrOlure Lil Jon. Both of these, especially downsizing in the summer, the heat, the water temps coming up, it's a great way to still target a big bite, but also catch an absolute ton of fish in the meantime. So until next time, guys, tight lines, God bless. And remember, if you have anything for us that you want us to carry or to talk about, definitely leave them in the comments below. We have a lot of things coming out, especially with our podcast, and certainly more of these grind episodes as well. So stick with us. If you want to see something specifically that we should cover, let us know in the comments. And always, tight lines, God bless. Take what you need and release the rest. God bless.